Hey guys, welcome back to What It Has Gaming. So good to have you all back and tuning in on us on Thursday night in the iRacing Fun League. And it's going to be an exciting race tonight at Rockingham of all tracks. The NASCAR series doesn't even race here anymore. This track's so old school. It's extremely bumpy, so you're in for a great race. I'm not really sure what to expect, but I do know that my practice laps from last night, it got a little crazy. It's going to be really entertaining. Hopefully, they put on a good show for us, a good race, and hope you guys all enjoy it. Qualifying has just begun, or I shouldn't say just begun. It's actually 3 minutes in, so we're a little bit behind tonight, like usual. I'm sorry, I apologize. Work's just kept me so late lately, but hope you guys all enjoy this. And let's go ahead and run through last week's previous race announcements real quick before we get started. So there is your current playoff standings right now. We'll go through that later on in the video. Just throw that up there for you guys. But right now, Brandon Fiedler was last week's winner at Worldwide Technology at Gateway. So congratulations to Brandon on P1. Sorry, I'm trying to talk fast, but put on a great race. Brandon definitely had one of the cars to beat him and David Galloway. Those two guys were lights out all night long. They put on a great show, great race, had a good racing all night long. But congrats to Brandon last week on his second win of the season. P2 would be, oh, sorry guys. P2 would be Steve Mormon. He came home P2, had a great race. Good rebound from the previous week. He had a little mishap in Charlotte, had a little connection issue, but rebounded nicely at Gateway and came home P2 in that number 26 Toyota Supra. So congratulations to Steve Mormon on P2. Ran a great race and had a good solid finish to show for it. P3 was Wes Gallo in that '07 Yahoo Toyota Supra. These guys are all like teammates up there helping each other out, and they had a great race all race long. And Bryn, one of these times we're going to interview Bryn, get him in here. And that 54 car who's been making the photos, he's definitely one of the guys that will finish up here shortly. And we'll talk with him, and hopefully we'll be rooting for him to get a win here shortly. But Bryn's always there when it matters, and we've been watching him. But congratulations to Wes, though, on that podium P3 finish last week at Gateway. So there's 1, 2, 3 guys last week at Rockingham. Let's go ahead and get on track because we're about to get things started here. Like I said, this is Rockingham Speedway. We're doing 100 laps here, and we're going to go ahead and get things kicked off here in just a moment. So right now, let's see here, guys. We can go ahead and get things started underway. Alrighty, give me 1 second. Of course, my SDK doesn't want to cooperate with me like always. Here we go.
Can you give me an EOL?
Just waiting to get things started
sir.
here. So they're going ahead and get on the grid, and we'll get things underway. For some reason, SDK is giving me issues. It's not showing me anything that I want.
Thank you, sir. Just didn't get a whole lot of practice. No one to spin and kill anybody else in the process.
All right, so Steven Gibson Jr., who we haven't seen him race with us in a while, he is on the pole tonight. And while I wait for SDK to show us the grid, I don't know why it's not. We'll just kind of run through it manually, which is kind of strange. But there is Steven Gibson, the 19 Toyota Supra. Congratulations, Steven, on the pole. He gets those bonus points to start up there. John Ledger will be starting on the outside there. He hasn't taken the grid just yet, but he'll be starting on the outside row there. And then Jeffrey Belk, who is a new iRacing Fun League member, he'll be starting third in that 55 Toyota Supra. Starting on the outside in fourth, you have Bryn George in the number 54 car. Starting in the 5th place position, Marshall Dugan in the 45 car. We'll be talking to Marshall Dugan later on in this race. Barney Sigmund, great to have you out there, Barney. Good to have you. He's in that number 37 Ford Mustang. Good to have you out there, Barney. Starting P6. Starting P7 is Wes Gallo in the 07. That is last week's 3rd place finisher. Starting in the 8th place position is Jeff Laraway in the number 71 Ford Mustang. Starting in the 9th place position, that is last week's runner-up finisher, Steve Mormon, in the number 26. Starting in the 10th place position, you have Zachary Ward, who's won many races this season. He's in that number 9 Chevy Camaro. Starting in the 10th place position is Corey Goodall and that Wiener King 333 Toyota Supra. Starting in the 11th place position is John Scheidrich III and that number 95. And then starting in the 12th place position, you have Brandon Fiedler. 13th is Eric Olson in the number 64. And starting 14th is Mark Ward. Sorry, these guys are changing spots here. I'm running through this manually because for some reason SDK is not cooperating. Mark Ward looks like 12th. Brandon Fiedler's 13th. Eric Olson 14th. David Galloway Jr. in the number 27, who had a great race last week at Gateway in the number 27. He'll be starting 15th. Looks like John Scheidrich is actually starting 16th. John Ledger is in the pits. He did not grid, so that's interesting that he did not pit. So there is John Ledger in the 25. He did not pit. So here is your starting lineup and getting ready to go green flag racing for the first time here at Rockingham Speedway. Pace car is off, and we're going to go ahead and go green flag racing here. Green flag in the air for the first time, lap number 1. And just bear with me here. I think SDK is just not cooperating here tonight. It says 1 laps to go, and there's no live leaderboard. Hopefully that will refresh here. And just bear with us momentarily. I'm waiting for it to refresh. I'm not sure why it's not cooperating, but there is Steven Gibson, the 19. He is down on the inside lane with Brent George right behind him in the 54 car. And then that number 55 is Jeffrey Belk, a new iRacing Fun League member. He is 3rd place tonight. But yeah, just bear with me, guys, and we'll see if we can get this SDK issue fixed. If not, I will figure something out. But hopefully it's not going to do this all night long. So leave a comment, say hi, and I will talk to you guys as this race goes on. But here is lap number 1, or lap number 2 at Rockingham. And so far, Brent George down to the bottom of the track right at the start-finish line. He is looking to take this lead away from Steven Gibson Jr. here. So Brent George up to the high side now, down through turns 1 and 2, down the backstretch. Brent George to the lead.
My bad there, Wes. I didn't mean to door you.
There is Steven Gibson right on board with him.
For your car here, I can't be managing.
Yeah, nothing is loading tonight, guys. I apologize. Having some technical difficulties here. I got my camera views working. I don't have anything else working here tonight, which is strange. So Brent George is leading them down at the start-finish line here on lap number 3. Steven Gibson Jr. is 2nd. Jeffrey Belk's 3rd. Marshall Dugan's moved up 1 spot to 4th. Barney Sigmund right now inside the top 5 in that number 37. Barney having a great start to this race here tonight at Rockingham. Right behind Barney is Wes Gallo in that 07 car. And right behind Wes is Zachary Ward, the number 9. Steve Mormon, the 26, and Jeff Laraway rounds out your top 10 right now on lap number 3. But it is Brent George who has the show right now. He is on fire here starting in these early laps at Rockingham. Took the lead away from Steven Gibson Jr., so he's going to get bonus points, and so is Steven as well going to get those bonus points. But here's our new iRacing member that we haven't talked about much. That is Jeffrey Belk. We'll see if we can interview him here throughout this race and see how his race is going. But good to have you out there in that number 55, and we'll be talking about you as this race goes on. But Marshall Dugan looking very impressive in the top 5 spot. He's currently run 4th. And we'll see how these guys do as this race goes on. It's so strange, guys. I don't know why it's not loading my live leaderboard. That's great. I might have to do this the old-fashioned way and pull up my other app and go that route if this isn't going to cooperate. So just bear with me, guys. We'll be right back in just a moment here. Let's see if I can get this all figured up. Here we go. Okay, I believe I got things all figured out.
My bad.
So like I said, we are at Rockingham Speedway for 100 laps tonight in the iRacing Fun League, and I apologize for the technical difficulties early on this video. It's 85 degrees here, clear skies, looking like a good race here tonight. This race should go by quick unless we have issues, but let's go ahead and get started and show you guys what's going on. Right now, Bryn George is stealing the show here, having an amazing job. He is leading this thing on lap number 11, so thank you for your patience, guys, and we got things all figured out here. Just had to refresh something. So Bryn George is in first, Stephen Gibson second, and our new iRacing member, Jeffrey Belk, is currently in third. But look at this side-by-side racing down through turns 3 to the start-finish line. Bryn George and Stephen Gibson really putting on a heck of a show here tonight. I'm also really impressed with Barney Sigmund in that number 37. Barney having a great job. Great race so far. Oh, it's Wes Gallo up in the high side there. Wes Gallo up high into the wall. Makes contact with Zachary Ward, and they're wrecking. Caution is out. First wreck of the race. It looked like Wes Gallo had some troubles there in the high side. Got in the wall a little bit. I'm not sure if he had help, but let's go ahead and see if we can pull that up and see what happened. It looks like Marshall Dugan was involved here. So here you have it.
All 100% my fault.
Here's Marshall Dugan, the 45 down on the bottom.
That's a good job keeping her.
He tries to avoid it, but just makes a little bit of contact. That looks like it happened just before him. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and back that up just a little bit and take another.
More room just to go on by, and I had a good run.
There's Marshall and Wes on the high side. This is the replay. So a little bit of contact there between Marshall and Wes in the 07 car, and I believe that's what started. Wes just couldn't get going.
Slow down to keep it from coming back up on the track, but I just couldn't get it slowed down enough. And it drove right back.
There you have it. So first wreck of the night. Zachary Ward involved as well. He's going to bring it down. Look, he's upside down.
Man, I think I could have. We both. I mean, me personally. I knew you were faster than me, so let's go ahead and let's get by.
There's one more look of it.
Looks like you spun your tires. Did you spin your tires there?
Alrighty, so big wreck early on at Rockingham.
We're off at 2.
The reason why I asked that.
Alrighty, we're green flag racing, or not green flag racing. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. They are on pit road making some repairs here at Rockingham. Right now, your leader is Jeffrey Belk, our new iRacing Fun League member. We'll see if we can pull up Jeffrey if he's in here in the iRacing Discord page.
Marshall's nose, the rest of it was just fallout.
Hey, Jeffrey, it's David up at the booth. You got me?
Hey, how you doing, David?
Hey, Jeffrey, good to have you out there. I understand this is your first league race with us tonight. Is that true?
Yeah, it's been a while since I raced in general.
Hey, well, it's good to have you out there. I just want to say you're leading this thing. We're got some high expectations from you. You're looking really fast there tonight. You're challenging the 2 leaders and now leading this thing after the first wreck. But I just want to say thanks for joining the iRacing Fun League, and I hope you have a good race out there. But any little strategy you got that you want to announce or anything, or plans for this race?
Right now, I'm riding. I came into this just trying to keep the car clean and trying to finish my first race back, and this was not where I was expecting to be at any point today.
Right, I hear you. I know I tried some practicing last night at Rockingham. This track is just so bumpy. How is it out there with the bumps?
It's a lot of throttle control. You just gotta be straight, easy on the throttle, wait till you get off the 2, and then start squeezing onto it to keep the wheel from spinning.
Alrighty, I hear you. Well, good luck out there tonight. Maybe we'll be talking to you later on in the race. And you guys are putting on a heck of a show. Good luck.
Thank you. We're on old tires up here.
Alrighty, there you heard it from our race leader, Jeffrey Belk, in that number 55 car. Lights are off on the pace car, so we're going to get ready to go green flag racing here once again as it pulls off.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Jeffrey Belk in the 55 is going to lead him down to the start-finish line and heads into turn number 1. And it's Steve Mormon that's down on the inside, a row of Barney Sigmund.
The tires a little bit.
Through turns 1 and 2, Steve Mormon's going to get the pass off Barney Sigmund in 37 and secure P2. Barney Sigmund back there side by side with John Scheidrich in the 95. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th right now. And David Galloway Jr., who we mentioned earlier on this race, he had a great race last week. He's looking to continue that success in that number 27. We'll see where these guys end up as this race heads on. Or leads on. But there's John, the 95, checking up just a little bit there. That's going to slow down that inside row. Brandon Fiedler in the 39 making his way up through here. He's going to take up the top 5 spot. And then also, we didn't talk about Joe Tardif. He's moved up 8 spots since we started this thing. It looks like Brandon Fiedler, though, has the most positions gained here on lap number 18. He has plus 12 spots from where he started. Last week he won, so he had to get sent to the rear. And from starting at the rear of the pack, he's already made up his way to 4th place. There you have it on screen. Brandon, caution is out again.
Fellas, we have got a very
Brandon up in the wall, makes a little bit of contact there.
Make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
All righty, let's see what happened here. Yellow flag is out. I saw Brandon get up in the wall, but I don't think that's what the caution was out. Hey guys, I didn't see it on my SDK app. I was having some technical difficulties. What was that caution for? I'm not sure if they can hear me or not.
I don't know what happened there. We were 3 wide coming off that corner, so.
Alrighty, hold on just a moment here. Hey Corey, for some reason I had some technical difficulties early on in this race, but what was that last caution for?
I'm not sure what started it, but it ended with 45 sideways on the backstretch.
Oh shoot, okay, there's a good starting point right there. Okay, yeah, for some reason sometimes it doesn't give me, oh I think I have it now.
Could be really bad.
Alrighty, thanks Corey, I appreciate it.
Yep, no worries.
Alrighty, so there is the 45, and it looks like he got loose, and that sent the caution out. That rear deck lid has come off the 45, and he's going to have to make this car go back down pit road for some repairs. So there you have it. There is the reason for the caution. Apologize, I didn't have that for you sooner. For some reason, SDK is just not cooperating with us tonight, which is fine, but Marshall Dugan on pit road. Get back to your leaders. So far, Jeffrey Belk leading this thing. Steve Mormon second. Barney Sigmund third. Brandon Fiedler fourth. John Scheidrich, the third, is in fifth. That is your top 5. Bryn George right now is 6th. He was having a great start to this race, but he's lost 2 spots from where he started. He's back to 6th. Stephen Gibson Jr. running the 7th place position. Eric Olson is inside the top 10 in that number 64, having a great start to this race. He's moved up 5 spots tonight to the 8th place position. Wes Gallo is in the 9th place position. Mark Ward is in 11th. David Galloway Jr. has moved up to inside the top 10. And John Ledger is currently 11th on pit road right now, bringing it back in. Marshall Dugan, like I said, who had to bring it down pit road for some repairs, he is currently 12th. Jeff Laraway up there in the, looks like the 12th, 13th place position. There's Joe Tardif in the 88. Alrighty guys, I'm going to go ahead and share this video before we get started. Or get back to green flag racing, I mean, I apologize. I know a couple people wanted to see this, so I'm going to go ahead and share it to the league. It looks like the lights are off on the pace car, so I'm going to go with green flag racing here in just a moment. They have one more lap under caution. But I want to thank you all for tuning in here on Wonder Dads Gaming at Rockingham Speedway. This is going to be one crazy race. It's definitely been interesting so far. There is the rest of your field. So pretty good solid turnout here tonight. These guys are going to have to manage the bumps all race long here at Rockingham. This is a very worn out racetrack. It's going to be pretty interesting. But right now your leader is Jeffrey Belk and that number 55, Steve Mormon right on the outside, that number 26.
Whichever one of you guys behind me watched a little bit. I'm having just a little bit of trouble spinning.
Alrighty, pace car pulls off.
Green flag.
And green flag back in the air on lap number 22. Brandon Fiedler with a good start there. Gives Steve Mormon a good push on the outside, but he's going to drop down to the inside right behind Jeffrey in that 55. And those two are going to lead the inside row. Down the backstretch they go, the 55, and Jeffrey gets a great start. But it's watch that 39 of Brandon Fiedler. He's been fast the last couple of weeks. That is last week's winner at Gateway, and watch him as this race leads on to see if he can get it done here back and go back to back. Sharon Laraway says, hi, good luck to my husband Jeff in the 71. Hope you're doing well, David. Thanks for broadcasting. You are very welcome, Sharon. I'm glad you enjoy watching these videos, and I appreciate you for coming out and saying hi. It looked like Jeff Laraway's having a good start to this race tonight. He was inside the top 10. He's still inside the top 10, but he's having a great race out there. He's currently 10th right now, looking to the inside of John Scheidrich in the 95, so Jeff is putting the moves on them out there tonight. He's having a great start to this race, so we'll be watching Jeff as this race leads on and see where he can finish this thing. But so far, Jeff is doing extremely well out there in the 9th place position as he made that pass on John. But yeah, we'll be rooting for Jeff, and hopefully he has a good finish here at Rockingham Speedway. As far as Craig, I don't see Craig out there tonight, actually. I don't know if Craig missed it, but Jeff is out there in the 71. And right now, there is the pass for the lead. Brandon has passed the 55 of Jeffrey Belt and has taken over this lead here on lap number 27. He has now moved up 16 spots since we started this race, and he is just flying away with the lead. We're watching Steve Mormon in the 26 and Bryn George in the 54. These guys are racing real hard. Bryn was having a great start to this race. He's moved up a couple, or actually he's right where he started in the 4th place position. But he was showing a lot of speed early on in this race. We'll be keeping an eye on Bryn to see where he finishes here tonight. But it seems like Bryn has just been super consistent all season long in that 54 car. And he's due for a win any week now. He's just got to keep putting himself up there in the top 5, and we'll find victory lane here soon enough, I'm sure of it. Let's go ahead and ride on board with one of these guys. Let's go ahead and pick Bryn and take a look at how this track is. Here's Bryn George in the 54 car.
Go around the low side, John.
And I'll show you what I mean about these bumps. It's pretty bumpy through 1, 2, but not as bad as 3 and 4. On the exit of 2, you really got to watch the throttle because you'll end up in that outside wall down the backstretch. But look at through 3 and 4 as he enters here. There's a lot of bumps right here. You can see that car really hopping through turns 4, and that really upsets the car here. So these guys really have their hands full with this worn-out racetrack at Rockingham. Like I said earlier on this race, they don't race here in real life anymore. We're trying to get this racetrack back on the schedule, but we decided to stop here and give it a go here in the iRacing Fun League and these Xfinity cars. But yeah, you can see how bumpy it is and how much Brent's really fighting that wheel to keep this thing straight. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on back from the leader. Stephen Gibson down in the bottom side here, looking to make the pass on Bryn George in the 54 car. That car's handling extremely well on the bottom side. He moves up. Oh, there's contact, and they're wrecking right in front of us. Caution is out. The 19 came up the track right in front of Bryn George and made contact with him and got spun around in the wall. I don't think he was clear, but like I said, those bumps might have had something to do with it. Let's go ahead and take another look at that from another camera view. And he's towed it back to pit road. So here is another view of it. Yep, he came up the track, got right in front of Bryn George and got sent right around the nose. Was not clear going down that front stretch. Like I said, this track is extremely difficult with the bumps, and these guys got to really be careful. But there's your third caution of the night. That was intense. We'll take one more look at it. Here's off the corner here. There you have it. Even Wes Gallo in the 07 involved. Alrighty, just checking a couple things here at the moment, but there is the third caution of the night for Stephen Gibson, who was involved in that, along with Bryn George and Wes Gallo. Brandon's going to lead them down pit road, and it looks like these guys are going to make some repairs. The whole top 10 are all down pit road at the moment. There's John Ledger in the 25. Barney Sigmund in the 37. He's going to stay out real quick for another lap or so.
I guess nobody farting around back there needed to pit, huh?
Joe Tardif stays out, and he's going to retake this lead.
What did you say, Corey?
Just everybody back there dicking around. We needed to pit, yeah? No?
Corey not too happy with everybody
I just did it
staying.
maybe on the last caution.
Let's go ahead and pull up
yeah,
Jeff
everybody
real
was,
quick
like,
in the booth while
slowing
we're
down at the start-finish line and just wouldn't go.
Hey Jeff, it's David up at the booth. You got me?
Yeah, like a full lap behind the pace car.
I do.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
Hey, good to have you
Why
out there
didn't
with
you?
us. You're having a
We'll
good
pit
start
this
to this
time.
race. How's it going?
Oh, it's a
Come on
little
down there.
nerve-wracking.
Thanks, sir.
I saw you up there in the top 10. You made a pass for for P9, and we were rooting for you, watching you out there having a good start to this race. But yeah, I just wanted to see, how's the track going with all the bumps?
Oh, it's like a wild ride.
Yeah, I did some practicing last night. I'm like, man, I'm actually glad I'm not out there because this track is so tough with the bumps and it's so worn out. But did you practice at all at this track and have any kind of strategy for the rest of the night or the rest of the race?
Yeah, a little strategy.
Oh, I'm just hanging on.
I had good speed in qualifying.
Alrighty, Jeff. Well, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for coming out and racing with us. I appreciate you. Good luck out there, and we'll be rooting for you. Have a good finish tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, there you heard it from Jeff Laraway, who is in that 71 car. He is currently in the 13th place position after making his way down pit road. And we'll be watching him as this race goes on. Joe Tardif, as I said, is in the lead right now with John Ledger on the outside. Jeffrey Belk is third. Brandon Fiedler is fourth. Let's see if we can pull up old Joe Tardif. Hey, Joe, it's David up the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, how is the
I don't let
racetrack
everybody
going
by.
so far? We had a couple cautions, a lot of bumps, and we've seen some guys get into each other, but how's the race going so far?
Race is going good. I kind of screwed up my qualifying and had to start in the back, which is really hard here because it's tough to pass. So had a little strategy. I took tires like 10 laps ago, so I'm hoping to stretch these out before we get another caution so I can kind of get even back up with everybody else.
Right, yep, I definitely hear you on that. Watch out for that 55 behind you. He's been fast all race long, but we're rooting for you as well. Good luck out there. Hopefully the bumps don't mess your car up too bad.
No, hope not. Thank you, sir.
All right, good to hear from you, Joe. Good luck, and maybe we'll talk to you later on, and have a good race.
What do you think of the scheme tonight?
I love it. I love that Boost Mobile 88.
Travis Pastrana.
Yeah, I actually have. I think I talked to you before about it, but I have that diecast of his. That's a cool looking car.
Well, hopefully it won me at Chicagoland, so let's see if I can do it again.
All right, Joe. Good luck. All right, there's your race leader, Joe Tardif, who's going to get them back to green flag racing here once again on lap number 38. Joe leads him down into turns 1. Down on that inside, John Ledger, the 25 up high with Brandon Fiedler in that 39 right behind him. Brandon drops down to the bottom side. Steve Mormon way down the bottom of the track, down towards the apron here. Oh, the 55 got crazy loose there. He's going to get straightened back out and go side-by-side racing with the 88 of Joe Tardif. At the line there, it looked like the 55 of Jeffrey Belk had him, and he does. He led that last lap.
Oh, that shit blew into the corner and washed up in front of him.
That 55's been fast all race long. Joe's trying to change some things up here, he says. Trying something differently here, but he's going to go up the high side through turns 3 and 4 with Brandon Fiedler on the bottom side of that 39 car. Joe, I've seen him race throughout this season. It looks like he always prefers that top line. It looks like he made a little bit of contact with the wall that time by, but it seems like he usually prefers that top line through the corners. Brandon, who we watched make the pass moments ago, he made the pass on the bottom side. So a little bit different late race lines here. You see the 27 run all the way there towards the bottom on the yellow line there. That's the 27, David Galloway Jr. Marshall Dugan back out there in the 45 car. And these guys racing side by side to turn 1 and 2. David Galloway Jr. trying to make a pass on Joe Tardif in the 88. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th right now. These guys racing side by side still, even through turns 3 and 4. Joe is holding on for dear life, trying to stay inside the top 5, keep this run going. Kart Rookie says, missed being out there this weekend, 00. Oh, I'm sorry, caution is back out once again for the 4th time tonight, and Marshall Dugan is involved. So let's go ahead and pull him up. So there's Marshall Dugan in the 45. He gets in the back left corner of the 25 of John Ledger. This is through turns 1 and 2. Barney looks like he just missed it, but John Scheiderich got a whole front end of the 45 car. And once again, that 45 has damage to the back end of it. That is unfortunate for Marshall, who was involved in a wreck early on in this race. Let's see if we can pull up one more view of that. So here's the 45 and John. Oh, the 45 got crazy loose going into the corner. He got loose and then just kind of pushed up the track into the 25, and I think that's kind of what set him around. Alrighty, back to live racing here, and under caution for the 4th time tonight. The leader is Jeffrey Belk in that number 55, with Brandon Fiedler right behind him in the 39. 3rd place is David Galloway Jr., who we mentioned last week had a great race going, and was up there in contention for the win a couple times last week at Gateway. But great position out there tonight in 3rd place. It looks like Zachary Ward gets the lucky dog, so he's going to make the pass on the high side here. Joe Tardif right now is in the 4th place position. Steve Moorman right now is inside the top 5. John Scheiderich at 3rd, who we noticed has some damage on that front end of that car. He might stay out or might pit here, I'm not sure. We got one more lap of caution. But he's got some damage to the front end of that 95 car. Barney Sigmund out there in the number 7, having a great race. Let me see if I can pull up Barney before we go green flag racing. Let me see if old Barney is in our Discord chat. I don't see Barney in here. Sorry, Barney, I don't see you in our Discord chat. Otherwise, I was going to pull you up and have a little
Marshall, that was
pre-race interview, or during the race interview. Eric Olson right now is in the 8th place position. Bryn George is 9th. Mark Ward is 10th. That's an awesome looking paint scheme there, Mark, by the way. Jeff Laraway is 11th. John Ledger is currently 12th. Zachary Ward with the lucky dog brings it down pit road one more time. He is currently 13th. Corey Goodall is currently 14th. Marshall Dugan is on pit road. He's in 15th place position.
As long as you're not going to read up my hauler for me.
Wes Gallo is 16th on pit road with heavy damage. I'm not sure if he's out of this thing. Stephen Gibson Jr. is also 17th. I believe he might be out of this race as well. Let's go ahead and show the ticker up on the board there. So, yep, Stephen Gibson is out of the race. And Wes Gallo on pit road.
I just feel bad though because the first one, I guess I don't know if it's Zach or West, but
here's your 2 race leaders who've been putting on a great show all race long. Jeffrey Belk in the 55 and Brandon Fiedler in the 39. We're also watching David Galloway Jr. back there in the 27 to see if he can get up there towards the lead. He's been making some progress here in the last couple laps. Joe Tardif also as well, who started first place on that last restart. He's up there in the top 4.
My bad, Corey. I was watching John out of my
fourth
window.
place
I didn't know if he was
position,
going to
top
come back
5,
up. I
rather.
don't want to wreck all 3 of us.
Oh, no, you're fine. It still had you flagging ahead of me before it put you behind to the left of us.
Yeah, Matthew Karikoff, if you're watching this thing, man, wish you were out there with us. This definitely is one crazy track.
But
yep, definitely missing you out there racing with us. You still have the point standing lead for the playoffs, so Matthew Karikoff is in the playoff standings lead because he's won the Truck Series and got those 10 playoff points for winning the Truck season. And this is, right now we're currently in Xfinity, so after the Xfinity season's over, we'll be updating that standings with some more playoff points. We're going to go ahead and get green flag racing here once again. Pace car has pulled off.
No, I'm the Barney with the 1 bullet.
Green flag.
And green flag back in the air on lap number 47. Coming to 48 this time. Brandon Fiedler with a great start on the outside. He is up the high side and made the pass around the 55 of Jeffrey Belt. There they are down the backstretch. There's the leader of Brandon Fiedler as he takes them through turns 3 and 4 down the front stretch as they all kind of get single filed down into turn 1. I'm very impressed with David Galloway Jr. here. He's made his way up inside the top 3, and he's in contention to lead this thing. He's getting there towards the leaders, and we'll be watching that 27 to see if he can take this lead away. That 39, though, has been fast all race long, along with the 55, so if it's anybody's race, it's those 2 cars right now as we're halfway in this thing. Lap number 50. I've been hearing cars hit the wall all race long. And throughout the field, these guys are racing side by side. The 88's got some blemishes on the left side and the right side. And he makes contact with the outside wall again. That's the 88 of Joe Tardif. This is a really hard track. And I told you guys it would be pretty entertaining watching these guys as they try to tame Rockingham that we have not raced here in forever. There's the battle for 11th and 12th right now. That's Corey Goodall and John Ledger, the 25. I want to appreciate you all for tuning in with us and watching us in the iRacing Fun League. We stream these broadcasts every Thursday night. We have more races throughout the week. I believe it is Mondays right now that have the Dirt Series. We just wrapped up our SRX season, hosted by Ryan Nesbitt. But thank you so much for watching us here on Thursday nights in the Fun League. Thursday nights are our Asphalt Series, and it's our NASCAR season. We call it the 2024 Road to Cup season. But David Galloway Jr., though, we're really impressed by him. He has moved up to 2nd place. He's got around the 39 of Brandon Fiedler. So, contact between the 39 and the 27. That's going to send Galloway Jr. down the track. He's going to get all messed up. Steve Mormon passes the 27. A little bit of contact there between Brandon and David Galloway Jr. Not too sure if David really appreciated that or not, or what the deal was there, but he's going to lose 2 spots because of that.
I'm on the bottom 8 for you guys.
A little bit of smoke down the back stretch, it looks like. Looks like Marshall Dugan. Caution's back out again. We'll see if we can pull up Marshall here in just a moment. It looks like Marshall's going to be out of the car here.
Any of y'all that drove the new track or the track after yesterday's upgrade.
Caution is out, and it's Marshall Dugan.
I'm done for tonight, guys. I'm just gonna park it and be done.
There you have it. Marshall Dugan involved with that last
Hopefully
caution.
your night gets better now.
No, not really. John,
Alrighty, the leader of
first
Jeffrey
caution that I
Belk's going to
started
lead him
with
down
Wes
pit
made
road.
me- I'm not forgiving myself from that, and I probably won't.
Lots of cars coming down pit road. A couple cars stay out at Mark Ward. And Brent George as well also stays out. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull up Marshall. It'll let me... Let me see, why is it not letting me pull up Marshall? I'm trying to see if I can pull up Marshall here. Hey Marshall, it's David up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you, David.
Hey, tough break out there. Just wasn't going according to plan, was it?
No,
Anyway,
it's.
the track they got it
Let me
I raced Atlanta
give me a
last
second. Let me
night,
meet
and it's,
some of these guys.
dirty
Driver
air
chat
is
real
making
quick.
it
Go
hard
ahead.
to run Atlanta.
It's
You'll be on the
been
bottom,
a
and it's,
rough
the
night,
air
man.
just shoots you straight up toward the wall.
I'm pretty sick to my stomach right now from the very first caution. I still take blame. I know Wes said it is his fault. I mean, early on in the race, but I knew he was coming. I saw the relative. I knew he was a lot faster than I was, and I had a good run on the outside, but I should have just backed out and just let him go, and I didn't. And you know, it's just one of those nights, man. Something just doesn't go right. It all goes wrong, and you know, why stay out and take a chance of ruining everybody else's race?
Right, yep, we definitely hear you. I understand what you mean by that. Rockingham's a tough track. I'm terrible here, so I'm glad I'm not in the in the car on the track with you guys. But I definitely feel you. I would have been one of those guys that probably spun.
It's a shame, man. I love Rockingham. It's a great track to me. I've got a couple of truck wins here. Matter of fact, I think my worst finish here. I mean, now this has been about 2.5, 3 years ago. I think my worst finish was maybe 4th or 5th out of like 6 or 7 starts here in the trucks. But I feel bad. I had a good car, a strong car. I felt like I could run the outside pretty good, the bottom pretty good, but it just I mean, the first hiccup was lap 12 on the outside of West Gallo. I mean, I should have just backed out and gave him the spot, and I took me and him both out. I feel bad, and then it's just not been one of those nights. So you just gotta take it, roll with it, and move on to next week.
Yep, I definitely hear you on that. No shame in that at all. I believe we're going to have one race drop. Yeah, we will. We'll have one race drop this season. So even if you have a DNF, hopefully that'll get taken care of with that.
Yeah, I missed Daytona. I wanted to run Daytona, but I didn't realize early on in the season that I was, in the league, and I missed that race. But I've raced every race since then that I know of. But it's all good, man. I'm looking pretty good in the playoff points. I'm not too bad in the overall points, so it's not going to hurt me too bad.
Yeah, it looks like
Green
right
flag.
now we're going green flag racing once again, but right now it looks like you're 100 plus 146 points to the good. You are right now in the 9th place position in the playoff standings. So even though you had this one race DNF, though, you should be still pretty good after this going forward.
Yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I'll take it. Looks like Jeff Lorway might have just hit the outside or inside wall on the back straightaway there, but no, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna learn from my mistakes tonight. Just roll with it, and just you just gotta learn. Learn from your mistakes. Just move on to next week. Every new week. You just learn from it.
Yep, definitely. That's all you really can do. I mean, just give it your best shot. I've been there ups and downs, or through the ups and downs all season long. But yep, you're still looking pretty good as far as the playoff standings go. So I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sweat it out much. I mean, we got I think maybe 2 more races left in the Xfinity cars before we move to the Cup cars, I believe, or maybe one more week, I believe. I'm not really sure, but I know we don't have many more races left in the Xfinity cars.
Yep, we'll go ahead and pull up the schedule real quick just to take a look, and it looks like we have Iowa next week, June 13th, and New Hampshire following after that.
Yeah, I haven't raced Iowa yet in New Hampshire. New Hampshire's a fun track. I've been there a few times. I'm looking forward to next gen races, you know, Nashville, Chicagoland. I'm really looking forward to Daytona. I'm pretty good at the super speedways. Usually run, you know, I don't qualify too good, but super speedways is anybody's race. It just depends on how you draft.
Yep, definitely, me too. I mean, those super speedways are entertaining to watch, but yeah, it's definitely a better shot to win those.
Yeah, yes, I agree. I love them. I run pretty good there, so I'm just gonna hope for, you know, a good race in, you know, Daytona.
Definitely. Man, we just watched Joe Tardif get hit the wall down the backstretch pretty hard.
Yeah, it looked like they had a pretty good battle going on back there. Going back a little bit on my screen, watching the replay. He was on the outside. It's like, yeah, and he just tagged the wall a little bit. It's turn two's just been so tricky here. Like the outside is good in one and two, and then you just got turn two. You just got to be careful because if you stand on it too much, it'll pull you hard to the left, and then if you're not careful, it'll pull you into the right into the wall. It's just like Dover. This track races a lot like Dover, believe it or not.
Yeah, with it be, this is an asphalt surface, ain't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
I was gonna say, for some reason I thought maybe because of the concrete, but I just realized it was asphalt. But yeah, the banking in the corners, it seems like it's Dover. Is that what you mean?
Yes, it's the banking for one, and the way the wall catches you. Because Dover, the wall will catch you coming off a 2 and coming off a 4 pretty quick. So yeah, it's just how it is.
Yeah, but right now I'm watching Joe Tardif and Brent George, who are battling side by side through turn 3 and 4 at the line now. Putting on a good show. Here comes Zachary Ward the 9, though.
Yeah, Zachary Ward on the bottom going into turn 1. He's on the bottom now. He's on the bottom, got a good run on the bottom. He's going to lose a little bit of ground. The outside just carries so much speed on the outside.
Man, talk about a save. Zachary Ward, who was involved in a wreck early on this race, went to the back, had to make some repairs, and now he's coming back up through the field, made his way up to the 6th place position.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. I need to run through the top 5 here real quick. Looks like David Galloway is running P4 right now. That's a pretty good run for him. John Cedric is up to 10th. He got involved in a wreck with me earlier. Felt bad for him. He's rebounding pretty good. We got some, the biggest mover right now, Fiedler, from 17th to 2nd right now.
Yep, he has the most positions gained throughout this race so far after starting in the rear. He won last week at Gateway, so he had that EOL pre-race. He's moved up 15 spots since we started this thing.
Let's see, go back to John Zedrick right now. He's got a good battle going on with, looks like, Ledger. And, no, he's past Ledger. Looks like he's Ledger and Barney Zigman and Bryn George right there. It's a good tight 4-car battle right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think John Scheidrich III, he was in 10th, and he made that pass with 9th place position. So he's moved up 3 spots from where we started as well, but now he's working on Barney Sigmund in 37.
Looks like he's trying to look for the inside right now. He's just buying his time, it looks like. The tires just wear so quick here. I couldn't stay out there. My first accident, I used my fast repairer, and then, I just, made that mistake of forgetting to turn off the tires, and all my tires are gone. So I decided, why not, just go ahead and drop out of the race early tonight,
Yeah, it's unfortunate that happened, but I appreciate you for joining me up here.
Not a problem, buddy. Looks like John is working on the 54 of Bryn George now. He made that pass on Barney, and he's looking at a pass on the 54 now. He's
Yeah,
on the
look at him up
outside
the
of
high
coming up.
side.
The high side is pretty good. I like the high side of turn 3 and 4. You can roll in a lot earlier, like pick up the throttle a lot earlier and turn 3 and 4 on the outside than what you can on the bottom. And it looks like he's going to make a pass going in the backstretch there.
Yeah, that car is really coming to life right now. 26 laps to go. He's got some speed in that car. Moved up to the 7th place position now.
Yes, sir. He's rebounded pretty good. It's just fortunate, he got caught in that accident I was in not too long ago. It's unfortunate, but he's rebounding good. It looks like we've got a good battle behind him right now. Bryn George and looks like Barney Zigman. I think Zigman passed George now for that spot. So it looks like Bryn George might be falling off just a tad bit. Corey Goodell's right there with him. See if I can get back up front now. See what we got right now.
Yeah, I was going to make mention of it. Steve Mormon, the 26, he passed Brandon Fiedler. He's moved up to 2nd.
Yes, a good night for him. He's went from 9th to 2nd right now. And it looks like, let's see where he crosses the line at now. He's 3.9. Yeah, about 4 seconds. Still plenty of time left. If they got a set of tires, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen that in the past. I mean, it looks like Fiedler's coming back now on him.
Yeah, he's down to the inside edge, side by side through 3 and 4 here.
Mormon's going to get that run on the outside, but look, don't sleep now. David Galloway Jr. is right there on Fiedler and Mormon. He's waiting to capitalize if there's a mistake.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Galloway Jr. He's really made some progress in the last 2 weeks, and he's had a fast car last week at Gateway, almost won it. And there's 26 in the wall, contact.
Whoa. Contact, 26 in the wall. We got let's see if I can go.
Oh, there it is. Caution's out.
Let me see if I can go back a little bit.
Steve Mormon wrecked.
8 car and 4 right now.
Yeah, see, he tagged the wall coming off of the let's see what we got. Galloway got a part of it. Who was the car right behind Galloway? Let's see.
That was Joe Tardif who made contact with the inside wall.
Let's see. Happened so quick. Yes, it's Tardif right behind Galloway. I'm gonna go on board with
he tried to avoid it and swerved onto the bottom of the track, but just missed it, hit the back end of Galloway and collided with the inside wall there.
Yeah, it looks like Galloway got a part of Mormon too, and that's what I mean. Like that turn 2 is so tough, man. Like it's just so tough. Like you're fishtailing. If you pick it up too soon, yes, you're gonna catch yourself from sliding to the inside wall, but you're still gonna fishtail. Like you really have to use the throttle off and on to just learn how to get back straight on backstretch. It's so weird. It's like a NHRA car. You burn up the tires and you just gotta try to pedal it. It's just so weird going down a backstretch here.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe it. It looks like everybody's on pit road now. Jeffrey Belk is still your race leader, it looks like.
Good run for him. He's fairly new, right? I haven't seen him too much this year.
I believe this is his first race of the season, so he's putting on a heck of a show for coming out being his first race.
Normally when we pit, someone says
I'll tell you who I was really surprised at was, and I don't see him tonight. Was it last week? Who was the guy that ran last week for the first time? I can't really remember offhand who it was that ran last week. Or was it last week or 2 weeks ago? We had a guy that ran one night and he won that race. I was like, okay, very impressive.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yep. Now the name is Luke. It was Luke, wasn't it? Yep.
It was Luke. Yes, sir.
Luke Mahone.
Yes. I was very impressed.
I was too. Luke actually did not make it out here tonight, which is unfortunate. But yeah, he came out, raced his first race and won it. So It'll be interesting to see
Hey,
if
John, how
we
bad is
can
my damage?
have that happen again with a first race winner. But yeah, Luke was the first one to do it this year.
Where at?
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah,
he was
the,
impressive.
right rear bumper is pushed up probably about 2-3 inches.
Looks like we cycled through the pits.
Not all of them.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
we've
we
already
got
finalized.
we got Mark Ward in the
Appreciate
10 and Wes Gall in the 07 in front of the leaders here. Looks like they might get the wave around.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Wes Gallo, man. Like he takes the blame for that that accident that we had together, but it's a racing incident, really. But I take the blame because when you know somebody's faster, it's just racing etiquette. You just let the faster car go, and I really didn't want to give up a spot right away, and I just like, well, maybe we can have a good race, and then we just, unfortunate, the accident happened on the backstretch, no hard feelings. I mean, I've apologized, Gallo. Gallo's apologized. Gallo has taken fault. I've taken fault. It's just a racing incident in my book and his book too, apparently. But no, it's a shame, that early in the race, and then unfortunately for me, that early in the race just carries on.
Yep, I hear you. It is. Alrighty, pace car is off. We're gonna go for green flag racing once again. 19 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. And Brandon Fiedler.
Yes, Fiedler got a good start, but we had a car on the outside, the number 9 car. Looks like he missed a gear or spun his tires. It looks like Zachary Ward spun his tires.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Allowed Galloway to slip by.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're right. Galloway up to 3rd.
Zachary Ward, I'm going to go back to that restart real quick on Zachary Ward to see what happened. It just looks like he spun his tires.
You know what I love about you being up here in the booth with me is you're able to go back and watch some of that stuff where I can't because I'm live. So I really appreciate that. That is awesome.
Dude, I love this. Like, I've always wanted to be a track commentator. It's just, I've been born and raised around this since I was a young kid. And even when I'm live streaming on Facebook my own races, if I don't race, I'll just stream the whole race and just comment the whole race. And I'm going to go back and watch this replay. I'm going to tell you what probably happened. They restart second, and when you restart second, you do fishtail a little bit. I was restarting 3rd. I always had to check up because everybody that, had to shift into 3rd had to get them time. So it looks like he just, if you go, well, at the end of the race, go back to lap 82, you'll see his car fishtail a little bit. That's what happened. He just stacked them up. He fishtailed a little bit, spun his tires, and just stacked them up a little bit behind him, and Galloway was able to capitalize.
We'll take a look here.
As soon as he gets to the starting line and goes to step on it, looks like the car fishtails a little bit, and that's what stacked him up. Galloway, speaking of Galloway, he has now passed Fiedler now for that 2nd place, and the caution's back out.
Talk me through your lap one time real quick.
Thought it was clear.
If I was like some people, that would have been you in the
Oh, man. Such a tough break.
We haven't learned anything
It's
about
let's go back right now. Corey Goodell was on the outside. It looks like the 26. Is that Steve Mormon? The 26.
Go on by, Barney.
Yeah, it's Steve Mormon.
Yep, Steve Mormon and Corey Goodall.
Yes.
Yep, we're watching it
Mormon
now.
came up a little bit, it looks like. And the same thing that happened with me and Wes Gallo. And unfortunate break.
Man, Steve Mormon came way up the track, it looked like.
So the same thing as
Yes,
last
he
week,
looks like
which
he
was an
just
issue when it was someone else. But
did not. I guess maybe
asked
trusted
the
the
other guy to
iRacing
back
spotter, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It just he just came up and
Yeah, I took a couple looks at it, and it looked like he came way up the track.
yeah, he just came right on up there. Didn't realize Corey was still there.
Corey
And,
didn't do anything wrong.
yeah, man, it's an unfortunate break there for Steve Mormon because
3
Steve
laps
Mormon
down.
was
What
looking
are-
good
I mean, who are
early.
you passing?
A
Yeah,
couple
he
laps.
was having such a great start to this race. He was doing good,
You
too.
never know how many cautions are going to come out.
So now the question is, we're lap 89. Does anybody still have tires left? Who's going to take tires? Who's not? You know,
Right, exactly. A little bit of strategy comes into play here.
It is, and I don't want to say, you know, a couple laps is make or break anything, but I went, was it 13 to 8 last weekend at what track did we go to last weekend? Or last week? I can't remember.
Worldwide
But
Technology Gateway.
yes, I had 4 fresh tires, and I was able to gain a few spots. Unfortunately,
Mark
Racing
Ward with the wave
2D.
around.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Marshall.
I feel bad for John because coming down to the checker flag, I might have chopped John a little bit. I felt bad for that at the end because I don't like chopping people. It's just iRacing spotters, you know, you can't trust them unless you have a real life spotter. It's just, I'm running a single monitor pretty much. I mean, I have a second screen, but it's for my Discord and everything. But it's just when you're running a single monitor, it's hard to just look left or right at the last minute, and you can't trust iRacing spotters, you know.
Yeah, no, you really can't. I mean, I try the Jimmy Johnson spotter pack, and I like that better. But I mean, honestly, it's never perfect. You gotta use your best judgment, really.
Unless you have 3 monitors, like actual monitors where you can actually see everything, or a they call that, you know, virtual reality headset.
Yeah.
It's just, you're basically, like tonight, I mean, I had to do all the updates and everything, so I had to reprogram my buttons, and I couldn't reprogram my buttons fast enough. I couldn't look left or right.
Oh, really?
And I felt bad because I'm just like,
I love using VR because it has the best views and you can see all around you. But it's a little finicky though, trying to get all that to work properly sometimes.
Yes. I would like to eventually go to VR.
And the only downside with VR that I don't like about it is you can't see the buttons on your steering wheel or like your keyboard. If you got other buttons set up for racing, or like your black box, you can't really see that. You got to figure out where your mouse is. That's the hard part about VR.
Right, exactly. Looks like we're about to go green flag racing here this time by.
Yep, lights are off the pace car. We're getting ready to go green flag racing. It looks like it's going to be, what, 10 laps to go?
Yeah, it should be about 9 or 10 laps to go, give or take, unless the caution comes out. Looks like Belk's still in lead. Galloway on the outside of him.
Look who's right behind the 27, the 9 is Zachary Ward.
Yes, Zachary Ward.
This is going to be an exciting race.
But don't count out John Zedrick. He's right there.
Yep.
He's rebounded pretty good, so this is going to be a good race.
Yeah, that 95's been really fast lately, but green flag back in the air, 55 to the lead. David Galloway Jr., a little bit of run on the high side, maybe?
Yes, Fiedler on the bottom. Galloway with the run on the outside. You know, Fiedler and Galloway side by side going into turn 3. Looks like Galloway's going to have a good run coming off of turn 4. Well, Fiedler battled back, but Galloway got the run off of 4.
Yeah, Galloway's doing a great job keeping Brandon back there.
Whoa, a little bit of tight action. See tight action back there at the Zachary Ward and Bryn George, it looks like.
Yeah, they're side by side on the backstretch.
Still side by side.
Brandon to the bottom. Is he going to make the pass here?
Looks like he makes the pass. He does make the pass. Bryn George on the inside of Zachary Ward right now. But I can tell you right now, Jeffrey Belk is loving what he's seeing in that mirror.
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
Side by side, he's going to just continue to drive his race. I tell you what, though, Zachary Ward and Bryn George, they're not giving an inch.
No, these guys are racing hard side by side. This is entertaining right here.
They're getting a run on David Galloway right now, looks like. So
I know. This is going to either go 3 wide or it's going to go. It's going to be pretty interesting. Red's looking to the bottom here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Zach's going to do, but
Zach got the run on the outside, going into the 3 up high. I'm telling you, that outside, believe it or not, you can carry a lot of speed in the outside if you hit it right. Uh-oh. It's
Yep.
going to get tight here.
It is. Yep. Oh, Galloway down to the
Galloway
bottom.
down low to block the bottom,
I
it
watched
looks
that.
like.
That really
Zachary
caused
Ward.
Bryn to back off.
Yes, yes. But now, what's Zachary Ward going to do? He's he got out of shape a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like he might have almost made contact. He backed off and got out of shape there.
Bryn
My bad,
George
I
on the
would've said
outside
it
of
was okay
Zachary
earlier,
Ward
but I
now.
got my
Looks like
hands
Bryn
full.
George back around Zachary Ward.
Yeah, these guys
Oh,
are
yeah,
putting
no,
on a heck of a
crazy.
battle right here with 4
Yes,
laps
they
to
are.
go.
I'm going to check up front, see what we got up front real quick. It's right now, it's still all Jeffrey Belk. He's running a daggone good race tonight. I tell you what, Fiedler 17th to second. I mean, Galloway 14th third. I mean, they got some pretty big movers tonight. We had a hard charger. You'd get them, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, right now, Brandon's got the hard charge, locked up with most positions gained. Look at Bryn, though, on the back end of the 27.
I saved it, but ain't no big deal.
Looking to the bottom here, see if he makes the pass.
Looks like it's Bryn, Galloway, Zachary Ward, Ledger's sneaking up into the picture now.
Oh, yep, the 25. He's coming up
And here
there.
comes Cedric. Cedric can go
Oh,
down.
contact,
Yeah,
54.
Contact at 54. Bryn George into the wall.
He hit the side of the 27 of Galloway Jr. No caution, though. 2 laps to go.
Caution. Looks like they were able to save it, but it looks like Zachary Ward and
Hey, can you clear my
Galloway
black? I
are
have,
going to go at it
black.
now for...
Yeah, Bryn George came up the track, made a little bit of contact with the side of the left side of the 27, and then got out of shape there and lost control.
Looks
And
like
usually what happens here, if one car spins off, they won't throw a caution. The caution is left up to iRacing.
Yeah, I spun by myself earlier, and I was on the apron, and then all of a sudden the caution came out. I was very surprised with that. I don't know if I was on the apron. You keyed up the radio, let everybody know I was on the apron,
No,
but I
man, that
guess
was fun as hell,
I
man.
raced
Good
through
racing
the
up there,
caution
guys.
anyway. But
Yeah,
Good
well,
racing
there you
day,
have it.
Bryn.
The 55 of Jeffrey Belk, a new iRacing Fun League member, gets his first win of the season.
yes, he looked good out there tonight. Then you got Fiedler looked good. Fiedler wanted it, but he just ran out of time, and he just Belk just had the car tonight. Galloway 14 to third. Zedrick 12th to 6th. He rebounded nicely. He's had a rough go at it tonight. Pretty good racing throughout the field here tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty entertaining race. I had a great job, or a lot of fun watching these guys race, but they put on a heck of a show out here tonight.
I feel bad I wasn't able to be a part of it. I was a part of it for about 20 laps, and then I said, it's time to hang the helmet up and just gotta be tonight.
Yeah, I hear you. I probably would have done the same if it was me. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull up that race
We'll
winner
be
here and
going,
see if we can interview him.
where you going to be next
Yes,
Thursday?
sir.
Hey, Jeffrey, it's
We're at
David and
Iowa next
Marshall up in the booth. Congrats on the win, man. Walk us through those last
appreciate
couple
it.
laps.
I'll
You
see
had
you
a
next
rocket
Thursday.
for a race car.
Oh, that was hectic. I just kept praying that the cautions would stop falling. Honestly, just trail braking through the corner to make sure the front end stayed gripped down to the corner, especially with all the bumps, then start rolling slowly onto the throttle mid corner. And if Brandon had got another shot at the restart, he would have won it. He was so much better on the restarts than I was.
There was a lot of good racing going on behind you throughout the field, and man, we were wondering if you were loving what you were seeing behind you, because the Galloway Jr. and Bryn George and Zachary Ward, they're all racing hard side by side in those closing laps.
Oh yeah, that restart when when Brandon, I think it was David got side by side. That was what sealed the deal, honestly. But that was some real good racing. Just at one point, we had a train of 7 cars fighting for the lead. So,
Marshall, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just curiosity, Jeff. What was going on in your mind on that last restart? I guess it's about lap 91, lap 92. I mean, what was your game plan? Was it just run your line and run your race? Do what you can, or I know Galloway, like you mentioned, Galloway and Fiedler got side by side. I knew you were happy about that. I mean, because me and David were talking about, more side by side battles probably made you happy because it allowed you to do what you had to do. But what was going on in your mind last restart?
Last restart, only thing on my mind, get clear up. I am much better running the mid to high line, so I had to clear David to
Right,
have a
right,
good shot. And that kind of hurt Brandon because I couldn't clear him in the middle of 1 and 2. So that caused them to have to get forced together. But
right.
just
Yeah.
I have to have that high line around here. It's just so much faster.
Yes, I agree. I was telling David throughout the night, if you can hit turn 1 and 2 good, you got such a great run off of 2. It is great, but 3 and 4 especially, you can pick up the throttle so much better than 3 and 4. Coming off of 4 on the outside.
Really, you just have to sacrifice the entry to the corner. If you sacrifice the entry to 1 and 3, you gain so much time coming off of 2 and 4.
Exactly. Good win, good run tonight. You definitely had a strong car tonight. I wish I was able to be a part of it, but you had a really good run tonight and a good win for you tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeffrey, congratulations on your first race, first win of the season. That is awesome. I think there's only been one other driver to do that so far this season. That was Luke Mahone. So you're the second driver to win in his first race coming out with this. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Alrighty, Jeffrey. We'll talk to you next week. You have a great weekend.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you.
Alrighty, let's see who came home. P2 is Brandon Fiedler. Let's see if we can pull him up
Brandon,
there.
yeah. Let's see if we can get Brandon Fiedler up here.
Hey, Brandon, it's David and Marshall in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, congratulations, P2. You had one of the fastest cars out there, along with a race winner, Jeffrey here. But man, walk us through those last couple laps and the battles that are going on behind you.
So for those last couple, when I on that last restart, especially, I actually was able to find the bottom groove pretty quickly. I had started to find it a little bit later in the race, and I seemed to do a lot better than running the bottom. So once I got around the 27, I just tried to stay as consistent as possible. But then I got into the wall off of turn 1 or off of turn 4, and that just killed all my momentum. So I just tried to make sure I stayed close enough to Jeff where I wouldn't lose another position to the guys behind me. I brought it home P2, so I'll take that for a day where I literally signed up for the session with about 15 seconds to go because I was downloading all the updates to iRacing.
Oh man, I mean, not a bad finish for having that go through. Reminded and everything happened.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it was a lot of fun out there tonight. Like I said, Rockingham is a very different track than a lot of the stuff that we race on normally. The bumps make it's just a wild card. Anything could happen with these things.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be a very entertaining race with the bumps, and it did not disappoint. We had a lot of great racing throughout the whole field, and definitely had some couple cautions and cars getting involved and some wrecks here throughout the race as well.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to my teammate Steve. I think once it was one of those things where I started to find the bottom, and it seemed like he was checking up coming off it too. I got in the back of him, and I think I put him in the wall. So I sincerely apologize to Steve for that. I did not mean to do that.
All righty, noted. Marshall, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so I know this track was different than all the ones who've raced at, Brandon, but quick question. If you had a track on the schedule to choose from that we've raced at so far, what would you say it raced like? I thought it raced a little bit like Dover.
Yeah, that's very much so. The concrete at Dover definitely provides a lot of the same surface texture. I would say that this scan of Rockingham has a lot of bumps.
Right.
If you go over the bumps in a wrong way, the car is just going to snap loose on you.
Right, and not only that, it's just coming off of the turns. Coming off of turn 2 and 4 at Dover, the wall catches you. The same thing coming off of turn 2 here.
Yeah, for sure. Very much so.
Well, again, congratulations on a 17th to second run. Strong run. I wish I was part of it, but congratulations on a very strong run again.
Yeah, thank you. It's hopefully I can keep this momentum going. I am gonna have hopefully I can get it keep it going until I unfortunately missed the July 4th race just because I'll be out of town for that one. But hopefully I can keep it going.
All righty, Brandon. Good to hear from you. Congratulations on P2. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, let's see who finished third.
I was gonna
David
try and
Galloway Jr.
yeah, I wanted to talk. Oh, he is in here. Let's pull up Galloway Jr. I wanted to talk to him.
Let's see if we can get him real quick.
Hey, David. It's David and Marshall up in the booth. You got us?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, we were super impressed with you all race long. You had a great car. Last week you had a great car as well, so you go back to back. But I know last week you didn't get the finish you were looking for, but this week, man, you were in contention to win this thing in those closing laps. You look fast.
Yeah, last week just didn't go the way I hoped it would. Running up front last week, and then wanted to pit with second and third there, and then we got that caution, and I didn't realize that it put me a lap down, so I kind of didn't finish where I wanted. But first ever trip to Rockingham. I know I was, starting in the back. I didn't want to qualify because I never turned any laps there besides practice, and tried to avoid all the wrecks that were going on. But yeah, we're slowly putting it together. It's a great points night, and I was trying to just avoid all the chaos, knowing that coming off of turn two, it's a little bit more pinched. The wall comes up kind of quick. I got into the wall going into one, early in the race, but kind of kept my head on a swivel, tried to watch out and hold off the guys that were coming from behind there on that last restart. They were pretty good. I feel like, me and Bryn George made contact off of two. I wasn't trying to block him. I was trying to give him room, and then we just kind of got together, and I seen he spun, so I was just trying to do everything I could to hang on. But it's been a fun ride through the league, and we're slowly getting better. The new wheel is definitely helping me improve. Now we just got to start up front and stay up front.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you mentioned all that to us as well. What kind of wheel did you get?
I got the Moza R5 bundle. The first direct drive wheel besides the AccuForce I used to have about 4 years ago. It's well worth the money. It's definitely helped me. I like the AccuForce I used to have, but it was just too big and bulky and heavy. But the Moza R5 is definitely worth the money for somebody getting into it. We're upgrading. I got turned to it by a friend who has the R9, and I think it's the R9 V2. But it's all around a great wheel. The settings are amazing, and it's definitely improved my driving that I can feel, throughout the races and practice and stuff like that. It's definitely helped me grow where I can lay in the throttle, where I have to brake, where I can pick it back up, and just try to be as smooth as I can. But I'm just glad we're building forward, and shout out to my teammate there, John Ziedrich. He came home sixth, both DGR, lettering cars and everything, and we're putting it together. My other teammate had, some issues with their Marshall Dugan. But we're slowly getting there. It's taking a little bit longer than I wanted to, but hopefully with the points, we closed up tonight. I was 106 or 107 out going into the night, but I was determined to finish up front one way or the other, trying not to block anybody and trying to run a race. And I felt more comfortable as the race went on. We had a lot of cautions early in the race. And then, towards about halfway to 3/4 through the race, we started getting more and more runs, and I could charge early and maintain as the run went on, as long as we didn't have a caution, because then I feel like the tires sealed up, and I had to restart in third gear for a while just to try not to run anybody over or spin my tires. So we're getting there, and I'm proud of the run that we've had tonight, and I'm slowly trying to get into the playoffs for the championship.
Well, that's awesome, David. I appreciate you walking us through all that. Thanks for the info. It was very detailed. Man, good to hear from you. I know we haven't interviewed you much lately, but I'm glad we got to pull you up tonight here in the booth. Marshall, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so David, quick question, buddy. I know we had that late race caution, but it looked like you passed Brandon Fiedler around lap 87, lap 88 before the caution. Um, uh, did the caution hurt you, or what? Did you want it to stay green, or did you want the caution? I'm pretty sure you wanted it to stay green.
I wanted it to stay green. I know I did get by him, and then coming out at 2, I pushed a little going in, tried to roll to the center and diamond it off, but he was already closing in on the bottom, and we actually made contact, and he shoved me down to the apron, and I'm just glad to save it. But I wanted it to stay green, but then I wanted a caution because I wanted to truly see how it would stack up late in the race, and I'm kind of
Right.
glad that it did come out. But knowing that the heavy hitters were coming like Zach Ward, Brent George, and all them, it was going to be a dogfight. And I mean, yeah, I'm just an average racer. I came from dirt to asphalt, and then it's definitely difficult to run with people I've never ran with, especially with everybody in this league being as aggressive and as strong as they are on long runs, short runs, in between. But I'm I'm trying to hold my own. Me and Brandon have definitely had more battles tonight than we did last week and throughout the whole season. But I'll take it any way I can get it, honestly. It's just that I feel like luck played a part tonight with trying to just maintain the laps. I've never ran Rockingham, and um, it's one of those things you're thrown into a dogfight, and I wanted to start in the back just to get comfortable for first probably 10, 15 laps, feel it out, and then I seen there was some trouble and got to miss that. But the late race caution kind of hurt in me personally. I felt like I was honestly a short run car. So I'm glad it came out, but at the same time, I wanted to see how I would stack up on a longer run. And I think that caution came out lap 85 or something like that. So we had like 10 laps to go. And I was going to do everything I could to stay up front, besides wreck somebody, because I don't run like that. I like to race everybody clean. But to have a late race caution, it definitely changed the whole driving perspective of my attitude with 10 to go. And with them guys coming, I knew it was going to be, really, really hard to hold them off. But I feel like backing the corners up was the best thing I could have done instead of charging them, because I have a habit of over driving the corners and then, getting into the wall and stuff. But I feel like at the end of the day, it helped, but it also hurt in the long run.
Right. I tell you what, it is a good race. You and Brandon Fiedler definitely had some good battles. Good finish for you. Good strong run for you again tonight. I know, the 1 week you didn't have the finish you wanted, but it's good points tonight for you. Good strong finish here at the end. Oh, move on to next week. Again, congratulations on the third place finish.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for letting me talk to you guys.
Yeah,
Sir.
no problem. Sorry, I was just pulling up here in the broadcast. We are looking at Bryn George and when that happened. And man, you guys were
Yeah, I
side
think it
by
was.
side through turns 1 and 2 the whole way around. But man, that was close.
Yeah, and I feel like from my perspective, I didn't really get to look at the replay, but feeling it in the car, I tried to give him as much room by sliding up towards the wall as much as possible, and then we just got together and I seen him go, spin down, and I feel terrible for it because I'm gonna take the fault for that one. I will always own up to anything that I do, whether I get into somebody or tangle somebody or we beat doors and somebody spins. I'll own up to it. It's the way I've always raced and it's the way I'll continue to race. But it's definitely challenging being up front with these guys every week and to come out of nowhere the last couple weeks. We ran strong at Dover, had misfortunes there, but ended up with a 6th. And then we go to Gateway last week and, we ran up front leading the first, I think it was like 14 or 15 laps. Really made me happy because I'm like, I can stay up with these guys. And then Brandon got past and we faded a little bit. And then that late race caution kind of killed everything and putting me a lap down and finishing in the back. It's not what I wanted, but to leave Rockingham with a 3rd place finish, the strongest run I've probably ran all season besides Dover, it makes me happy to go on to the season. I know we got a couple of tracks coming up. I've ran good at Iowa before in Xfinity cars. I've won an open official race at 125 laps. It's I'm not looking forward to New Hampshire. I struggle there on a flat mile, but we'll just grind it out and see what we can do moving forward, and hopefully we can get up there and try to get into the points. And when we get to the Cup cars, we'll battle those tracks. And not that I'm any good at half of them, but we'll give her a go and see how the season goes.
Yep. Awesome, David. Yeah, and I appreciate that. And also, keep in mind we do have one race drop per series, so the trucks, Xfinity, and Cup will have one race drop. So if you did miss a race here and there, don't be afraid. I think you're going to be okay in the point standings, especially moving forward. But yeah, as you mentioned before, I think you'll be good in the point standings after this race, and if you keep plucking away at it.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to get there. I'm just an average racer from Pennsylvania. I ran dirt cars and coming that. I've been in on iRacing since about 2018, and I've won 150 races between dirt and I only got about one asphalt winning and a truck official. So I like the pavement side of it now. We're getting better in the Xfinity car, so we're gonna see how the rest of the season goes. And if you don't mind, I'd like to shout out to my sponsors, Halter Landscaping, JD Motorsports, and just DGR Race Designs, and Marshall for being one of my great teammates. So I look forward to the rest of the league. I love running the league, and yeah, great group of guys.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate hearing from you, David, and congrats on coming home P3. Put on a heck of a race, and good luck moving forward from here on out. We'll see you next weekend, all right? Or next week, Thursday, I mean.
Sounds good. I'll see you next Thursday.
Yep. Have a good weekend, David.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. See, who do we got left?
If you want to pull up Zachary Ward, if you still want to interview, you want to do one more?
Yeah, I know. I think John looks like still in here too. Let's see. See if we can get one or two more. Try and get John in here too.
All right, let's get John up in here because we haven't talked to John much lately.
Okay, all right, let's get John up in here.
Hey, John, it's David and Marshall in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Hey, good to hear from you. We just want to talk to you a little bit tonight. You put on a heck of a race. You had a rocket ship there at one point. We were watching you, and you were making some passes. Walk us through the race tonight.
I'll tell you, man, it felt really good. As is David, this was my first ever time here. I literally bought the track at like 7:29, installed it, and got into the session at like 7:31. My first laps were in practice, and as Jimmy can tell you, I was trying to figure this place out right from the get-go, and I was driving it too hard. And I was just trying to figure out a good conservative speed because I feel like I'm a very conservative racer, and I try to just push through the whole run and not early in the run. I'm not a very good short run driver. I can't push early because then I burn it up too quick. So if I just pace myself and maintain, I feel like I tend to pick them off as we go. So I'm always wanting a long green flag run.
Right, I'm with you on that one as well. Me too.
John, you had a pretty good car tonight. You rebounded pretty good, man. I know the one accident I got a call, part of or got caught up in, you got a part of. Looks like you rebounded pretty good. You were able to work your way back up to sixth. What was going on through your mind, on that ordeal, that incident? Like, what was your thought? Like, did you know you're going to be able to try to get enough repairs done? I mean, how did your car feel exactly? To get a good run there at the end to finish sixth.
Well, see, that was that was the tricky part because no sooner it happened, the yellow come out instantly. So I didn't get a corner, I didn't get a straightaway or anything at race speed in order to know what the car was going to feel like. So I think you could probably see in the broadcast, I pulled up to David and I asked him what the front of the car looked like. And he gave me the best analysis he could. So I took it for what it was worth. I didn't want to get tires yet, and I didn't want to use a fast repair because I think we were still just before halfway.
Right.
And so I ran it, and I think 10 laps into the run, maybe 10 laps into the run, I got the old flashing red light on the gauge, on the water temp gauge. So I had to start backing the corners up even further and further and just maintain until I could go down and get my second set of tires and get that quick fix and just pace myself and try to keep the nose clean the rest of the way.
It's a shame that the gauges started blinking red, but it's a good rebound night, good finish for you. I know last week wasn't, quite exactly what you wanted it to be, but you still managed to get a decent finish, but you did pretty good. You rebounded great this week, I believe at one point you were close to last, if not last, and you were able to rebound six. So pretty good finish for you also tonight. And you and David both got a good finish.
Yeah, I was the lucky driver to get the last EOL, so I was dead last of the line, even though it says start 12. But yeah, last week I felt really great on a long run again. Me and David actually put up a practice session of our own, I think the night before or 2 nights before. And because again, I had just bought that track a couple nights before, so I was trying to turn laps. Practice session went well, so I felt really good on a long run. But unbeknownst to me, I actually put the fuel load a little bit more in my race than what we get in the league race. So the long run wasn't quite what I was hoping for. It was like 10 laps shorter than I wanted it to be, because I felt like those extra 10 laps I could have capitalized on a lot of positions. And again, another late race restart, especially on the bottom at Gateway of all places, it's not the way you want to go. And
Yeah.
so
I,
it just go ahead, you
yeah,
got.
I was telling David, earlier, I told him, last week we had a good finish, I was able to, gain a couple of spots with the fresh tires I had. And I told him, I was like, felt bad because I felt like I chopped you there, turn four coming off, for checker flag. And I was like, I'm that kind of driver, and I felt so bad for you.
It was what it was. I mean, that was poor decision on my part. I tend to make the wrong decision. I thought taking tires there before a green, right, white checkered would have been a little iffy, but come to find out, I probably would have bettered from it. But it was all right. It was you live and you learn. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. So it
Right.
was a good race. Still managed the top 10, which was better than a dead last or a DNF.
Yep, I definitely hear you on that for sure. Yeah, I mean, I still think you came out on a good end of it, finishing P6. I mean, that's not bad at all.
No, really good rebound for you tonight, John. I'm sorry you got a part of the accidents. Well, one of the accidents of the few that I was a part of. But yeah, it's a good rebound night for you and a good finish. I'm glad you were able to finish, a good E6, after starting dead last after the EOL. But move on next week and see what you got next week, buddy.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I appreciate you guys for putting on this show. These league races are a blast. Sometimes I don't get the finish I'm looking for, but it is what it is. It's racing, right? So I just look forward to coming back every Thursday and having a good race.
Hey man, that's what matters most. I really appreciate you saying that. But yeah, I look forward to talking with you guys as much as I can, and then I appreciate you all for coming out and racing with us as well.
Absolutely, I'll be here as long as they're up.
All right, John. Thanks for talking with us, and thanks for your time. Have a good weekend, and we will talk to you next week.
You got it. I'll see y'all. Enjoy yourselves.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All righty, Marshall. I think that's going to do it for tonight. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's that time of night. I just want to say thank you, to you for pulling me up in the booth. Glad you pulled me up in the booth. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be part of the, the race there towards the end, but as long as racing, goes on, accidents happen, and there's just some nights that it's just not your night. And I'm gonna apologize to everybody in the league for tonight. I know I not just one, but at least two that I know of offhand that I was a part of, maybe even started. Just gonna apologize, say sorry to everybody that's part of it. Again, thank you for bringing me back up in the booth, and glad I was able to be a part of it tonight. And hopefully next week I'll turn it around and be on the other end of the interview.
Well, yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thanks to you for coming up here and joining with me. You really helped me out big time, and having an extra person in the booth really helps me out because I can't see everything that goes on the track. And so those couple times we were watching throughout the field, and you were able to even rewind the race and go back, that really was beneficial to me. So I really appreciate that, and that helped me out a lot. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Not a problem, man. I love being up here in the booth. Maybe you never know. Maybe next season if we do the same thing, maybe I'll just join you for the whole season.
Yeah, I know,
Throughout.
right? See, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, it's different. I love racing with these guys. Zach Ward, especially, he's been a big help. David Galloway Jr. and John Cedricks. I got them in here. I sent them a link. I was like, hey guys, why don't you race with us on Thursday night? But not only that, but Patrick Calusio, he got me into it from the start. Uh, Big shout out to him because he was the one that told me, he's like, hey, look, we're part of this league that runs Monday nights, Thursday nights. I also run Monday nights with these guys. I would like to try and work something out where I can just broadcast Monday nights for them if possible. But it's all new to me. I've never done the broadcasting stuff. But yeah, again, thank you again for having me up in the booth, and forward to next Thursday at Iowa.
Yeah, of course. Good to have you out there as well, and thank you for racing with us as well. And looking forward to hearing from you in the future as well. So thank you very much for everything that you've done tonight. And I know you didn't have the night you were looking for on track, but really appreciate you for joining me up here in the booth. Hope you had a good time.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed it, man. I loved it, and maybe next week I'll turn things around and be able to run up front again. And if not, you know where to find me, buddy.
All righty, Marshall. Well, it's good to hear from you. Thank you very much, and hope you have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
All right, take it easy.
You too. Thank you.
All right, there you heard it from Marshall Dugan, who joined us up in the booth after having an unfortunate race tonight. He actually had to get out of the car, and it was cool, though, because he got to join us here and broadcast a little bit. But we're going to wrap things up, though. Good to hear from Marshall. Thank you for joining us, as always. And there is the schedule for you guys. So next week we're at Iowa, and that is going to be on June 13th. And we're going to have just one more race after Iowa that wrap this Xfinity season up at New Hampshire. So a couple weird tracks that you don't normally see throughout the year, which is Rockingham, Iowa, which are not on the normal schedule. I think Iowa actually is now on the normal Cup schedule. I think it just got added this year. I can't remember. But nonetheless, it's going to be cool seeing Iowa as well as Rockingham this week. And then New Hampshire, which is a normal track on the schedule, is going to be a different weird track. But these next couple races are all going to be odd tracks, and it's going to be entertaining to watch. So keep us in mind for watching Iowa and New Hampshire the next coming weeks, and then we'll get our second champion of the season in the Xfinity Series crowned, and then we'll get this playoff standings updated as well for you guys next week. This is the current playoff standings after Gateway last week. Matthew Karakoff still has that lead spot. Like I said, he got those 10 playoff points for winning the truck season. John Ledger is currently P2 with 7 playoff points, and he has the current Xfinity season point standings lead right now. And we'll get that all updated for you guys next week. But thank you so much for tuning in on Winter Dads Gaming. Thank you so much for watching us here in the iRacing Fun League. Hope you guys all enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, have a good weekend. We're out, guys.